on Facebook. We're on Facebook too. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode from Broke to Millions. Thank you so much. We're here to help you guys out. We're here to share with you all the different things. I'm going to share my ups and my downs so you can turn it all the way around. Today, we're enjoying these happy holidays. I'm traveling to St. Louis, and I pulled over just so we can make sure we get this episode. And I hope you guys are enjoying your holidays. And we're just checking in where you're checking in from. And we got a great episode today. We're going to talk about, well, we'll leave that to win. But first, give it up for our audio and visual Walt Piper. What's up, brother?
What's happening? Hello,
It's all
everyone.
good. Oh, you
How
got your
y'all?
microphone.
Can you hear me?
Good for you, man.
Yeah, I'm
I
here.
can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, man. And all the way from the Philippines, by Avondale, but now he in the Price Hill. He upgraded.
Not the hood.
Window the
But there's a-
Gooseman. What's up, brother?
All right. Are you having fun, Mike?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I was supposed to be on the road. Listen, I am still human, and we were supposed to leave at 4 in the morning, and we ain't leave till 9:30 or 10. Does anybody understand that traveling story with your family?
Yeah. That sounds familiar.
We're supposed to leave at 5, and now we're just now getting on the road. So it's all good, man.
All right. Well, before we start, put in the chat where you're from. If you're on Facebook, put it in the chat where you're from, or where you're going if you're traveling right now, just like
Yeah, where you going? Yeah. Or are you trying to go somewhere and you can't get there yet?
All right. Canicalan, Arkansas. Okay. Who else? Wait in the
And
chat.
then if any of you traveling, where are you traveling to today?
Cleveland, Mitch, Benke, Cool. Who else, guys? We need more audience participation here. We'll give away one Mike's book from Broke to Millions. All right. So we will choose one of you to win that book. Adam from Raleigh, North Carolina. Orlando, Kevin, Kelly. Cool. Oh, that's Pillow, the dog. Mike.
Oh, you see the dog?
Yeah. Well,
man.
there you go. Pillow is part of the podcast now.
There you go. Yeah, he's a part of the podcast. Pillow, come on, show him. Say hi, Pillow. Yeah, there you go.
Pillow.
All right, man.
All right. Let's start. We will talk about money.
We're gonna show you how to raise this money today. All right.
All right. Let's do it. All right. So today we're going to talk about how to raise millions of dollars in private capital, or OPM, right? Even it doesn't matter, even if you're brand new to real estate, you have no wealthy connections, or you have no social media presence, right?
In layman's terms, if you are surrounded by broke people or don't know where to start, we got you covered today.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Right. Because really, like Mike and I started raising money and all of our friends and family are broke anyway. So it doesn't matter, right? So we were able to raise millions of dollars in private capital. But before we start, who here believes that you have to have wealthy connections to raise private capital? Put it in the chat, if you believe that.
And let me, if you believe that.
Yeah, put it in the chat that you believe that you have to have wealthy connections before you can raise capital. All right.
Before you raise capital?
Yeah, before you raise capital.
Well,
before,
let's see what people say.
Yeah.
Before I say something.
Yeah,
it definitely helps.
Definitely helps. That's true, John. Absolutely not. Adam
absolutely no. Adam believes you don't have to. Anybody else believe you don't
Daniel,
have to?
Yes, Daniel. Okay. All right. Well, here's the thing, guys. I used to think that, but now I don't. Mitch said that's great. That's actually a lie, right? And today we're going to show you that you don't need to have wealthy connections before you start raising private capital, right?
No, I mean,
that's a big lie.
one of the things I'm just telling you now, I'm now finally in the room with large institutional groups, fund managers, and asset managers that are introducing me to large wealth. I mean, just we're gonna share some of the secrets on how to get there today.
Yep,
All right.
yep. So who among you here are brand new to real estate? Like you have not done a single deal yet. Who here among you are brand new? So type in the chat newbie if you're brand new, you know, that's okay. Everyone had, you know, had to start
Brittany's brand
somewhere.
new.
Brittany is brand
Yeah,
new.
Brittany,
Okay, okay,
OP.
for
Oh,
newbie. Okay.
all
Who
right.
else are newbie investors here? You have not done a single deal yet, you know. Put it in the chat, newbie, you know, haven't done a deal. Mitch, okay.
If Mitch hasn't done one.
Who else, guys? So again, we will give prize for audience participation here, you know. Julie's a newbie,
Julie,
Veronica. Okay.
Veronica. Is
Is
it
the
the audio or are they talking?
over each other? I mean, you guys can hear us, right? Julie said, you know, newbie. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with your sound, Veronica, but sounds like other people can hear us. All right. So now the good news is this training is for you, right? If you're a newbie investor, because see, you need to line up private capital or OPM, other people's money, long before you have a deal. Okay. And the reason why is because, you know, real estate brokers talk to each other, right, Mike? And
Absolutely.
if you start like not doing a deal, you know, like not closing on a deal, right? Then that's not going to work. Like real estate brokers will basically blacklist you and say, hey, you know, this guy Johnny doesn't close deals, right? And therefore, you know, stay away from him, you know, whatever, right? That he's not a real estate investor, right? So that's the last thing you want is to ruin your reputation, and that's why it's important that you line up private investors right now, long before you have a deal. Okay. Now, who among you here are experienced investors? You know, you've bought one or two or more properties, but so far you've only used your own money. Who here are more experienced? Type it in the chat, experience, you know, or how many deals you've done so far, you know, one or two, two to three, four to five.
Yeah, and
In the chat.
there's a couple of them. And then also, like it's okay to reach out to people before you have a deal. Like we always say, you want to dig the well before you die of thirst.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Kevin
Adam's doing
said,
deals
doing deals
across the
all over the
country.
country, but
Okay.
always need more capital. Two properties and family money. Danielle, all right, cool. Kanikalon, have some experience using my
Kendall.
money and it's
Yeah.
a struggle. Okay. John
The
said,
struggle is real. The
yeah,
struggle is real.
struggle is real, right? Experience. So John said 10 plus, raise less than 500K. All right, cool. For multifamily, my own money. Mike, all right,
Great job, Mike.
good job, guys.
All right, let's
So
go on. Keep it moving. Man.
yeah,
Yeah.
so this training is also for you because you know the nice thing is you already have experience, right? You have a little bit of track record. And once you know how to raise private capital, you can therefore scale up your rental portfolio a lot sooner because now you can tell them, you know, you have the track record, right? You know?
Absolutely.
Yep. So now, you know, you want me to do this or you want to do this, Mike?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, if you could scale up or raise $1 million a year for the next 5 years, think about all the possibilities. I mean, because when you raise $1 million, especially a year after that 5 year period, you potentially can have 20 to $25 million worth of real estate that generates to you your portion 20 to 40,000 in net cash flow to you, cash flow after debt, after all your expenses to you. I mean, what are some of the possibilities? Would you quit your job? Do you think you have is that enough income to have financial freedom?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
You
who
know,
among you here will quit their jobs if they have $25,000 a month coming in, month out? You go on a 30-day vacation and you have $25,000 more coming in, right? So who
oh,
among
you
you
set
here
the
will quit their
dream up
job?
for them now, brother.
Huh? Yeah, 100%.
100%,
Adam
100%.
will quit there. 1000%.
Yeah, 1,000.
Absolutely,
That's, I
Daniel.
mean,
Right.
I mean, listen, what we're talking about, this is 300,000 in net cash flow to you annually. And that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. But look, you could stop there because making 300,000 a year, that's good. You just crossed the line to begin financial freedom.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead, Win.
Right. Now, and then who among you here will spend more time with your family? Maybe again, retire your spouse, right? So who among you here will take more vacations, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
when you have $25,000 a month coming in, I remember Nate, when in just what 2.5 years or 3 years, together with Mike's
Man,
help.
we got together, man.
Yeah,
He took off for like 6 months, man. Adam said he's got his 2 months notice ready,
2 weeks
weeks
notice
notice
ready
ready.
written. That's
You know, hey, share, put in there what, wherever you are, Facebook, whatever group, you in this webinar, what is financial freedom for you? Is it spending time with the family? Is it paying for the kids to go to college? You know, just one or two, one sentence or just something. It's vacationing. It's
Mhm.
time with the family. Is it giving to your community? You know, type in there what it is for you, because everybody is a little different. For me, it's it's spending time with the family and coaching and give. I got a lot of things I like to do, but
Oh, his sound cut off. Hey, Mike, we can't hear
my
you.
sound is cut off. Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, John said freedom
Okay.
and
No,
control of
my
your
ear.
time and finances. That's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to my ear because it sounds like my
Your
earbuds
own
going
boss,
bad.
going to Mitch, travel, enjoy life with zero stress. Okay, Okafor, having more freedom, personal time, upgrading my life, freedom and impact. I like that. Julie, financial freedom, not depending on someone else for a paycheck. Right? That's awesome, guys. That's great. So while we're
All right,
waiting
keep
for
going.
Mike,
I'm gonna grab
yeah,
my earbuds real
all
quick.
right.
Go
So
ahead.
so today, guys, the goal of the training is to teach you, how to raise money without asking for money. And I know that sounds weird, but that's actually absolutely true. We will show you later why, it's actually the best way to raise money is by not asking for money. Okay. So what's the effect of all of these things, that we've learned over the years? What's the impact? Well, I've helped Mike acquire like over $300 million worth of properties. My expertise is raising capital. Mike's expertise is, finding good apartment and hotel deals and also raising capital. So together, I kind of help Mike do this, like scale it up to a higher level, right? But well, before we start, for those of you who don't know us, go ahead, Mike. You can introduce yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing. I lost everything back before the Great Recession. I wish I could blame it on the recession, but I had my own recession. But from there, I've learned everything and went to 200 million under assets, acquiring apartments, hotels, and even doing a $100 million development in Florida, downtown Sarah, Florida. And it's just the beginning of where we're going. And one of the key reasons why I was able to do that is because of what we're going to talk about today, OPM.
Other people's money. That's right. Because like some people say, oh, I am broke right now. I can't do real estate, but really that's just an excuse, right? If like Mike figured it out. And again, as Mike said, OPM is the key. So like mastering raising capital will be the key as well for you guys. So little bit about me. I've raised $12 million in 12 weeks through organic social media. That means no paid ads at all. And
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Where?
yep.
Why is your page nicer than mine, bro?
I got your
Hey,
old
Walt,
picture
you see
from
that,
a
man?
different slide,
Hey, hey,
You, you
hey,
gave
can
me like
everybody confirm like his page is much better than mine? Like, why?
All
I guess we know who the star is.
right. So and then not only did I help raise capital for Mike, but I also taught together with Mike our students and mastermind members especially, and later on you guys will see the examples, right? So but but in the beginning Mike really didn't succeed, right? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, no. So when I first started, I went out and me and Nate took this show on the road, man, and I raised a big fat zero. Like I wasn't able to accomplish anything. Um,
Or one
and
year,
I'll tell
right?
you why.
Mhm.
I was able to do deals, but I didn't raise not a penny. And I'm gonna share with you, because we were so busy focused on us in these meetings, and it's not about us. It's about what I like to say, we FM. What's in it for me? Go ahead. So, I also studied in the communication, persuasion, and then I got Win on board, and we really started focused on social media marketing. And that's when immediately things started turning around, man. It's like we found the way to crack the code, and immediately we started raising OPM, other people's money, and that really changed the game on us doing deals. Like
Right, right.
immediately we started bringing in money, and it's like just immediately, just understanding what and why we need to do this.
Right, right. And then but you might be asking or saying to yourself, well, that's easy for you, Mike. You already experienced, right? But what about, as we said earlier, even if you're a newbie investor, will this work for you too? Well, here's the experience, that Keisha Kennedy has, right? So Mike and I taught him the secrets, the code on how to raise private capital. And she went from 3 houses that she accumulated over 10 years, right? And once she learned how to raise private capital in just 18 months, she invested in and acquired over 500 apartment units. Okay. So she went from zero investors to over 1,000 investors again in 18 months. And these are some of the posts, this post that she did here, right? That
And and and
really,
and,
yeah, go ahead, Mike.
and when remember, just like me, she was hesitant to even share any of this information.
Right,
You
right.
remember that? Like
Yeah.
we was like, dude, you got to post this, and immediately investors started reaching out to her.
Yeah, yeah. So this post, at first you're right, Mike. She emailed it to Mike, John Casmon, and myself. And I said, you know what? Why don't you post this on social media? And she was like, really? This, like just sharing that I had dinner with Mike and, just thanking Mike and John for their invaluable mentorship, because it's part of our mastermind. And, when she did that, a lot of people reached out to her, like 20 investors just like that with one post.
Yeah.
So,
So some simple things that you can do. Simple
mhm.
things.
Yep, cool. So today we're going to talk about 3 secrets to raising, millions of dollars in private capital or OPM. Secret number 1, attract them, don't chase them. So by doing it this way, you can get HNWIS. So that's short for high net worth individuals, to want to give you money. Think about how powerful that is. Secret number 2, we call it the 4E strategy, is how to get high net worth individuals, even if all of your friends and family are broke, all right? And then secret number 3, as Mike already kind of mentioned earlier, it's not about you, it's your investors, WIIFM. So how do you persuade investors to invest their money with you? Okay. So let's jump right
Absolutely.
to the first secret. Secret number 1, attract them, don't chase them.
That's right,
Oh,
man. Be
yeah.
that magnet, baby.
Yep, yep. So yeah, so most people think that raising money is like, being like a stockbroker, like what do you call this? Like in Wolf of Wall Street movie, that
Oh, Wolf of Wall Street. Uh-huh.
that you gotta make a list of 100 people and ask them to invest, like ask them, hey, invest money with me, blah blah, you make like 15% return on your money, but the reality is that's wrong. That's plain wrong. It doesn't work that way. All right. It doesn't work that way. But instead, what you do, like there's a difference between chasing investors and attracting investors. And I bet 99% of you who have not raised money, you've actually chased investors. That's the reason why, right? So chasing investors, you're cold calling people, you're calling your friends and family, and work colleagues, and then you ask them, hey, invest money with me, this deal will make you 15%, 20%. It's a no-brainer. There's no risk, blah, blah. That's just chasing investors, and it doesn't work, right? Because when you chase someone, they run away, right? But when you attract
Mhm.
them, they move towards you. So how do you attract investors? So one way is by educating people about real estate investing, but do it naturally. Don't like just insert it casually in your conversations, right? Don't like do a hard sell on them, and one of our our investors relations partner, right, Daniel, I mean, Daniel is like the most laid back you know
The lazy Asian.
yeah, lazy Asian investor. But I mean, he is really good at establishing relationships, like just being friendly with people, and like he would play golf, and an hour or two later, he finds a private investor, right, Mike?
Yeah,
you know,
I mean
and
the whole time they're golfing, he doesn't even talk about anything. Just, oh, how you doing? How's the family? And then somewhere in the midst of that conversation, oh, by the way, if you're interested, I got the friends and they're doing deals and they're doing real estate. And they're like, oh my goodness, I'd love to. I'd love to hear more.
Yep.
And then you go in there. I mean, like,
Mhm.
that's one of the reasons why I didn't succeed is when. Now, I will say he had a different market. Uh, it seems like in California, everybody has $300,000 or $400,000. It seems like,
Yeah, you got
um, but you know, going in talking all about yourself and not talking about them is where people make the mistake.
it. Right, right. Yep. So you might be thinking, well, do I have to be a smooth talker, right, to attract private
No, no.
investors, And the answer is absolutely not, right? Like Tim Vest, is like an introvert, during the Burr 360 conference, the mic is like far from his mouth, so he's like, come on, Tim, bring the mic closer. Like he is so introverted,
Hey,
right?
Win, you should have saw him at his event when we were driving the Porsches.
Uh-huh.
Tim had the event and we're doing Porsches, and he doesn't really even say. Matter of fact, you'll be surprised at their event. They were just got up, a couple of people talk, no script, no nothing, just share your story,
Mhm.
and that was it. And then we race cars. Like he doesn't really talk much.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just,
yeah,
hey, we have an opportunity, and you can be a part of it.
Right, right. So, for example, Tim Vest, yeah, I mean, being as introverted as he is, and yet he is actually our most successful mastermind member, in just 10 business days on LinkedIn, he was able to attract 11 investors. So think about that, guys, you know. So now
Can,
for
let me ask you something. Like, guys, can you see yourself doing this? Like, even as an introvert, is this something that if an introvert can do it, meaning someone that not even really like talking to people, if you just put some effort, do you believe you could do this? Let me hear in the chat. Yes or yes? Yes or yes?
all right, we're in the
All
chat
right.
again. We want some. Julie said absolutely. Chris said yes. Candy Kalon said yes. Daniel said yes. Yes, sir. From Mitch. Cool. All right. Now, the second part of this is, you might be thinking, oh, maybe that's easy for Tim or Mike. Maybe, they have rich friends and family members, right? So this could be your question. But, here's my problem. I don't have any rich friends and family members, right? So what do you do? Right?
Yeah, no,
Well,
I get it.
yep. So that's where secret number
Hey,
two comes in.
I'm gonna let you go in, but
Mhm.
I just want to confirm with people, like, look, I didn't grow. I mean, we weren't poor, but we definitely weren't wealthy. We were middle class. I mean, I didn't see much money growing up. Like my mom, well, mom and dad had $100 on the dresser one day, and I thought that was a lot of money. I
Mm.
mean, I went to one of the lowest ranking schools in the city of Cincinnati. I mean, I think our high school was the third lowest ranked. And
Mm.
so if you're kind of lower income high schools, that means your community. It doesn't mean that defines who you are, but my point is they didn't have a lot of income.
Right,
Uh,
right.
a lot of my friends were on subsidies. Uh, uh, just they didn't have much. You know, they thought I was rich. Just to give you an idea, I was nowhere near that. I'm in the school with you guys. You know, we didn't go to the top private schools. I didn't. My college is great Tuskegee, but it wasn't Harvard. But it is Harvard to me. But my point is, it doesn't matter where you're from.
Yep.
And with this social media, that changed everything. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I
No,
just
no,
had to
that's good.
remind people
That's good. That's
it's
good. That's
important.
good background, because some people are, again, we want to disprove that big lie about raising capital, right? That you need wealthy connections before you can raise private capital, you know? So, and one way to get those wealthy connections is through social media, but doing it the right way. And the strategy is what we call the four
Yes,
E's
yes.
4E strategy, right? So first, let me show you the wrong way to do it, which I see like almost every single week on social media, right?
Oh
So
my goodness.
yeah, we got this post, in one of the actually on our Facebook group, Apartment Investing Secrets,
Hey,
and
before you even get started, man, like I don't want to do it because it's got lemons on it already. Okay.
right, right, right. So this is mistake number one, right? You are looking for investors, equity partners for your first deal, right? You're already begging for money, right? So, and then mistake number two is that, do you know, unless you have filed the right exemptions with the SEC, right? And you have the
Mhm.
disclosure in your post that putting something like this on social media, because it's a public forum, right? You're basically,
Absolutely.
you're doing public solicitation for a private deal, because your deal, if you have not done your first deal yet, that's a private deal, right? It's not like a publicly listed company, or so bottom line, do you know that posting this is potentially illegal and can get you in trouble with the Securities and Exchange Commission?
Yeah, I mean, doing something like this is breaking SEC violations, and it can lead to fines or potential jail time.
Yep.
So definitely want to explain to you. There's nothing wrong with raising money. You just got to do it the right way.
Right, right, right. So it's like this post, doesn't work. It only repels investors, and it can be potentially illegal. So guys, why not figure out how to do this the right way, right? Why
Yeah.
why shoot from the hip and like, do this? It just hurts your credibility, and yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So the way to
I
do
will
it.
say before you go in, John, he typed in the chat. It could be a 506C. John, definitely, you kind of know what's going on.
Right.
Uh,
If it's a
but
506C, yeah, that
but if
means.
it is a
Mhm.
506C, I still promise you, no one would promote like this. So that's why I would say they're probably doing it incorrectly.
Mhm.
I'm 99% sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
and he agrees with.
you can
Yeah, if
ask.
you have a 506C, yes, you can go out there and solicit,
Right.
promote
Mhm.
out there on the internet or whatever. But go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said, you have to have filed the right exemptions with the SEC, and that is the 506C exemption, right? So, but yeah,
Yes.
but even then, mentioning, it's your first deal, you're looking for money, it's like it's a big turn off for investors. Like, yeah, when I see this, like, I won't invest with these guys, right? Who will invest with these guys? No one,
Absolutely.
right? So, but how do you get around those SEC regulations, so to speak, and doing it the right way, and yet you're able to attract private investors, right? So we call it the 4 E's, right? So bottom line, people people work with people they like and trust. So how do you get people to trust you? You put out educational posts out there. How do you get people to like you? You engage with people, right? You put out engaging posts, right? So have you been to a party where, this one guy talks about himself all the time, right? Pretty soon, no one wants to talk to him, right? Because it's like, hey, this guy is conceited, arrogant, SOB, only wants to talk about himself. No one wants to talk to him,
Ooh.
right? So, but instead, you like to hang out with people who sincerely and genuinely friendly and wants, want to get to know you and so on, right? So I call
Absolutely.
that, people who are engaging, right? So in the same manner, your post on social media, you put out engaging posts, you ask people's, like some questions, what do they think about the economy, the real estate, etc., etc. And then no one wants to hang out with someone who is very negative and complaining all the time, right? So on
Mm-mm.
social
No,
media,
negative Nelly. Nobody wants a negative Nelly
yep, exactly. Put out
or
encouraging
miserable
posts out
Misty.
there, because that will build your likability and also the people who will follow you or want to be connected to you. And then lastly, nothing disarms people like, very quickly other than humor, right? So like put out things that you do over the weekend, funny things that you encounter, because again, this post will build likability. So think about it, guys,
Yeah.
investors, passive investors, I don't care whether they have $10,000 or $10 million, they're still people, right? And so they will only invest with you if they like and trust you, right? So, and
Absolutely.
on social media, by putting out these 4 E's, you're able to expand your network and get those people to like and trust you. And once they do, then, they will seek you out, talk to you on the phone. And when they talk to you on the phone, that's when they will invest with you, right? So, like some of you might be thinking, well, is it like really does that really work? Well, here here's a DM that we receive on Facebook, right? So there's actually two people, but one of them reached out to us, reached out to Mike, and then they ended up investing how much money, Mike? Like the brothers, like $10 million, is that right?
Yeah.
That they
Yeah.
invested
Yeah.
with you, and we found
Yep.
them through Facebook, or actually, strictly speaking, or more accurately, they found Mike through Facebook. They got attracted because of the 4 E's that, Mike put out, almost daily on social media, right? And then this guy, large account executive, already a limited partner with apartments, an accredited investor, okay, which later on will
Yeah.
tell you what accredited investor means for those of you who don't know. And this guy is asking, can I invest in your hotel deals, right? So it's like, it's like, can you imagine that, guys? Like, hey, I have money. I'm an investor already, but I want to give you money. Can I give you money? Right? Think about how
Yeah.
powerful that is, right? That's the power of, the 4 E's as a way to attract investors on social media, right? Here's another example. Mike posted this. This guy actually reached out on Instagram, and Mike kind of shared it on LinkedIn. So think about this. There's also potential for us to partner up on deals in the future. We've built up our family office to over $100 million in assets, and we advise a lot of pro athletes and entertainers as well. Think about that, right? So those of you who are skeptical, oh, can I really raise big money on social media? Well, how does $100 million sound, right? Obviously, this guy will not invest the entire $100 million on Mike's deals, but if you get a couple of these people, right, lined up, then you will never run out of private capital, right? And in fact, if you stay until the very end of our, training today, you will find out how to have over 100 family offices right at your fingertips, together with their decision makers, right? So, so that you can literally raise millions of dollars just from one source, family offices. Okay. So, then you might be asking, well, or saying to yourself, oh, you know what? Maybe I need 1 million followers to raise $1 million on social media, right? Wrong. You don't need to. Like, here's a question. Who here knows Robert Musso? No one? Okay. Well, no offense to Robert. Robert is one of the members of our mastermind and we love him to death. But look at this, guys. In 10 business days, Robert Musso, by doing the techniques that we teach him, the 4 E's, he got 7 lenders, 2 investors, and he got invited to be a guest at a podcast. Being a guest on a podcast, the average podcast listeners, make like $250,000 per year on average. Okay. And to be a guest on a podcast, that's huge because that will allow you to attract even more investors. All right. So think about that. So you don't have to have millions of followers, right? To attract investors on social media. Now, you might be asking, well, once I attract them, what should I tell them? Right. And this is where secret number 3 comes in. And Mike, you want to talk about secret number 3? All right. Are you still
Yeah,
there?
it's not about you,
Yeah, go ahead.
but your investors. WIIFM, what's in it for me? That's essential. That's one of the biggest things where I felt that when I was in these meetings, I'm over here blabbering my mouth, talking about how great we're doing and all the different things, which was fine. I mean, I wasn't being arrogant. I wasn't being selfish. I was just sharing. I thought that's what people wanted to know, but they don't care. They don't care that you score 4 touchdowns in a single game like Al Bundy. What they want to know is what's in it for me. You know, they want to be heard. They want to be understood. And they want you to, and then knowing that you understand them, that's when you can close them. All right. Understanding like what's their appetite for risk, what's their appetite for investing in hotels or apartments or single family homes, what's their goal, what are they trying to accomplish. And if once you understand that and you can share that with them, that's when you build rapport. That's when you'll build a relationship, and that's when you'll close them, and that's when you'll start raising not just 1 million a year, but millions a year. All
Mhm.
right.
Right.
So here's some of the next steps. Once you after you have that conversation, that meeting, then you get them to fill out an accreditation form, which we'll share about that with you as well. Accreditation form is simple form sharing that whether you're accredited or non-accredited. Accreditation, non-accredited. Well, let me start. Accredited means you're making 250 to 300,000, or your income, the family income, the spouse, or you're worth over $1 million. That's just something basic the SEC requires that they know if they're accredited or non-accredited. Doesn't matter because regardless if you do a deal, you just need to know that information. And then also, you need to have an executive summary here, which we'll share with you. We'll give that information to you. You need a basic template so that you can present that. Once you have to understand their goals, you can share this template, this performa, this deck that shows that you're meeting their goals, and this is the type of deal that they want to be a part of. And step 3, you call them. After that, you answer questions, right? And then after that, you put them in your syndication, and you put all your documents together. Now, listen. Once you put this PPM, what we call private placement memorandum, it's all about your documentation, includes your security agreements, it includes executive summaries, it includes all these special documents. I mean, we spend anywhere from $2,500 to even $30,000. Look, I'm just going to give that away to you, so you can see what you're dealing with. And no matter what deal you need, you're going to have to adjust it. But uh, these are things that you need in order to move forward. Now, before we go even forward, is this information of value? Is this of some value to you? Sharing documents that took me 20 years to put together, and I spent thousands of dollars on these deals. Is this of value?
Okay.
Is this helpful?
Yes.
Could you use
It's
this?
helpful, very
Could you
helpful.
use this?
And to Mitch.
Okay.
All right. Julie said yes. Shinka said yes. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Massive value according to Adam. Great, guys. Great. All right. So here's a question for you guys, right? So the accreditation form, by the way, just to add to what Mike said, you know, it's not a simple form that Mike is saying. Well, it is and it's not, you know, because you know part of when you get a non-accredited investor, you need to establish like this pre-existing substantive relationship, and you need to be able to document that. And the accreditation form that we have actually allows you to document that, right? And you know, so you need that for SEC compliance. Again, guys, just do this the right way. Don't like shoot from the hip and you know like be cheap or whatever and then try it and then all of a sudden you'll be in trouble with the SEC. It's not worth it, right?
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
it's
and
not.
then the executive summary, you know, it is already a PowerPoint template, and all you do is put the details of your deal and replace Mike's name with your name, right? Who here wants these two documents? You know, put it in the chat. You know, I want it, right? Put in the chat, you know, that you want these two documents, the accreditation form and the executive summary, right? You know, so Daniel said yes. Please, who else? Chris, Brittany, Mitch, right? Julie, Colleen, that's awesome, guys. That's awesome. And at the end of this presentation, you will find out how you can access these documents, right? And then how, you know, like like why is the syndication paperwork so expensive, right? Like
Oh
$15,000,
my goodness.
$10,000, right? So you know, like you will find out as well, like how, you know, like how do you see inside of it, right? Without actually paying an attorney $15,000 right now just to see what's inside it, right? So so again, just to recap, right? So secret number one, attract investors, attract them, not chase them. Secret number two, the 4E strategies, right? So that you can attract investors even if all of your friends and family are broke. And secret number three, it's not about you, it's your investors, WIIFM. And when you use that secret, you're able to persuade investors to invest their money with you, right? So now the question is, now that you've learned all of these secrets, right? Now what do you do? Okay. You have three options right now. Option one is nothing. Okay, it's like you just watch a nice TV show, you know, but you do
Just
nothing
what
with it,
they
right?
just that's a Netflix look. That's how you look after you watch Netflix.
Yeah, exactly, right? So then really, you know, if you do nothing, all of this is just a waste of time, right? Now, the second thing that you can do is you try to do it all by yourself, right? Figure out how to have your own accreditation form, figure out how to have your own executive summary, figure out like how do you attract investors exactly on social media and in person, right? What's your investor pitch, right? Figure that out, figure things by yourself, make mistakes, and then before you knew it, you look like this guy because he receives this you know, subpoena from the Securities and Exchange Commission, and all of a sudden,
When
you
it's
know,
difficult trying to do it on your own.
yep,
Like
exactly.
you're gonna drink a lot of coffee or a lot of caffeine, whatever it is, to get you
Yeah,
through that. Like I went through it. It's very challenging.
yep,
But because we've done it so much, some experience, I'm able to break this down in the system that you guys can, put on cruise control. Just
yeah,
be
which is
consistent with this.
yep, which is
So
choice number three, you know, get our help, and more specifically, you know, I mean, think about this, right? If you are able to attract investors, right, because you use secret number one, you kind of master that, right? And then your investor database, like Keisha, expands from 0 to 1,000 in the next 18 months, right? You know, because you use secret number two. And then you use secret number three, you're able to persuade investors, right? When I sit across Mike, you know, in our old office, right? But also here in our new office. But every time I'm still like I'm amazed by how well Mike would close each and every investor, right? And you know, like he persuades them to invest because he uses secret number three, right? So do you think if you can attract investors both in person and online, and you know they really like you, trust you because of secret number two, and you're able to persuade them because you use secret number three, do you think you can succeed with this? Type it in the chat. Absolutely, you know that you can succeed with this. um John Geldert already wrote absolutely. Who else you think will succeed with this? If you know all of these three secrets, type it in the chat. Absolutely, George Fry, Julie. Yep. Cool. All right, guys. So the good news is you can get the help of Mike, myself, and John Glankler, who is Mike's syndication and SEC attorney, right? So what we did is we put together, an in-depth workshop, a 2-day workshop, okay, to teach you, not just give you the knowledge, but also the systems, okay, the checklist, the scripts, and so on, the executive summary, etc. Okay, and also the network, so you can start raising millions of dollars now in other people's money. Okay, so this 2-day workshop, okay, by the end of day one, just day one alone, okay, you will have lined up several prospective investors, okay, who are interested in talking with you because you will have used our investor searching script. That's why I said this is not just giving you the know-how, but giving you the systems as well. One of the systems is having the right script so that when you talk to people, people actually cannot say no to you. Think about that. Instead, they will point you in the right direction, maybe even refer their friends and family and work colleagues to
Absolutely.
you. And and then now those people become your
Absolutely.
investors, So this is very, very powerful, guys. I mean, when I did this like live in a seminar before, like room of I think like 300 people, they were able to raise $500 million. It's crazy, just by using this script. And then, the next one is by the end of just the first day, okay, you will have developed, practiced, and perfected your magnetic investor pitch. So that when you encounter like, some rich dude, you saw his car, he has a McLaren, whatever, right? And then you got into a conversation, you use the magnetic investor pitch, and all of a sudden, he will be excited to talk with you further, right? And we will show you Mike's actual script on how he persuades investors to invest, okay? And then by the end of day one, you will have developed your social media investor attraction formula, like customized for your needs so that now you have the actual post that will attract investors to invest with you. So you will actually see the exact same methodologies that I've used to help Mike raise $12 million in 12 weeks, like the exact post, the exact, so you just copy and paste it. Well, not the exact post, but the exact, again, methodologies, so that you come up with your own post that will help you attract investors, right? And again, that's just on day one. We used to have 40 tickets, and I need to update this slide. We actually have only 8 tickets left, not 10. So sorry for that. We only have 8 tickets left, not 10. So, definitely attend this 2-day event, and then by the end of day 2, get this. This is why I say that not only do you get the knowledge, right? Not only do you get the systems, but also you get the network of investors. Because on day 2, you will meet at least 10 accredited investors. So as Mike said, these are people who make, $300,000 per year as a household, right? And or they make their net worth is $1 million, excluding their personal home. And you get to meet them during the 2-day event. Now, how do we guarantee we have at least 10? Because we've already invited our mastermind members to attend this event, and over half of them are accredited investors. That's why we know we will have at least 10 accredited investors there. All right. Then you will know the legalities of raising private capital. You will see the syndication paperwork that John Glankler, puts together. He will discuss what's in the PPM, what's in the operating agreement, what's in the subscription agreement. Now, to be honest, a lot of his discussion will be boring to death, probably, right? But
That's an understatement, brother.
Yeah,
That's an understatement.
it's probably the most boring part of the actual event. But now after this, you will understand why does this document cost like 10 to 15,000, sometimes $30,000, right? And Mike hates that we're doing this, okay? But just as how I've shown you that one, family office reach out to Mike, they have $100 million that they can invest. Imagine if you have access to over 100 family offices, okay? We update this every single month, and it has the network the actual employees, how to contact them, their phone numbers, their emails, right? So that now you have access to big money, guys. You know, so now, yeah, and then if you sign up today, okay, not only do you get whatever you get on the website opmintensive.com, you get that one-on-one free consultation with me, so I help you develop your customized blueprint for raising money. But if you sign up today, you also get Mike's accreditation form and the executive summary in PowerPoint, you know, slides, so that now you can customize that for your deals. All right, so why reinvent the wheel, right? You know, make mistakes and so on. Why not just copy and paste what works in your own investing? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now, if all that the OPM intensive, we call it the OPM intensive, this is a 2-day live event. If all that it did is help you buy one apartment building, okay, that gives you $2,000 a month cash flow. Let's forget about, you know, let's think small here. Okay. I know Mike thinks BHAG,
I
but
don't like
you know,
saying, yeah, what
yeah.
small? Who does
Mike,
that, bro?
yeah, but let's, you know, but some of you are like, you know, like newbies and so on. Maybe you're thinking, no, maybe I can just have like a small apartment and I end up with $2,000 a month, right? Just
Okay, that's
imagine if
fair.
all that it
That's
did is get you an apartment building and you make $2,000 a month cash flow net to you, right? And all you've invested is $1,500. Do you think this is worth it? Okay. If all that this did is help you raise just $100,000 in private capital, do you think this is worth it? And then let's say, you know, worst case scenario, all it did is it prevented you from going to jail. Okay. Because the SEC, you know, you did things the right way, you know, you probably raised a little bit of money, you know, but all it did is prevented you from making like a costly mistake that gets the SEC to fine you and then put you in jail. Is this worth it? Right? So, you know, is investing, yeah, investing $1,500 to make $2,000 a month cash flow, or you know, being able to raise $100,000 or not going to jail, it's definitely worth it, right? OPM intensive.
Well, here's the great thing, Win. I mean, I really believe we shared some of these techniques, and people immediately raised 100, 500,000 immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Immediately.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, that's investing in yourself is everything.
Yeah. So I, you know, so all I did there was I talk about like what's your worst case scenario, right? But now what if you're able to raise $1 million per year over the next 5 years? And as Mike said in the beginning, what if, you know, you have $25,000 a month of passive income coming in, you take a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day vacation, or
Ooh,
like or like Nate
I
who
remember
took
some
like
people
a
was ready to quit
six-month
their
vacation.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they like, I quit.
Yep, 6-month vacation, and then all of a sudden he still has money coming in, right? 25,000 a month, day in and day out, right? How will your life change when you have $25,000 a month coming in, and all you've invested in is $1,500 to learn how to raise private capital the right way, have the right systems, and have the right network, okay? Accredited investors, family offices, and so on, right? So what is that worth to you? Right? So some of you might be asking, is there a guarantee? You know, so Mike, you want to talk about the guarantee?
Hey, look, the bottom line is we get to it, man. We're going to have this session coming up in January, one-time deal. And look, if the first day doesn't work out for you, look, we'll refund your money. It's that simple.
Yep.
Like, because I'm looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs. We want to expand and help you grow. That is our mission, to help you guys be successful and enjoy these things. And in life, there's no guarantees. But today, we're going to give you a guarantee, because that's how powerful, impactful we believe this information is. And we want you to get out there. So go to opmintensive.com right now. There's only 8 slots. We're only going to do it one time this year. We're doing it January 25th, 26th, Cincinnati, at the Cherville Delta Hotel. We're going to have a great time. I'm going to bring some of my team there so you can meet them as well. And, you know, I'll be there myself personally, educating you with my team, Wendell, and my legal team. And this will be the beginning. For some of you, it will expand you. but these are the things that you need to be successful in raising capital for your deals. And here's the great thing is we're talking about real estate, but some of you may get into other things. Some of you are into acquiring businesses and mergers and acquisitions. You're going to need these same traits, same skill sets. This number one skill is raising money for your deal. So go to opmintensive.com right now. Type in the information and sign up because you don't want to miss this conference. I'm only doing it once, and I'm doing it live in person, and I'm not doing any videos after that. All right?
All right. Cool. So opmintensive.com. So we have like a few minutes for questions, 5 minutes for questions. You
Well,
know,
we only had that much time, brother, because I got to get back on this road.
okay.
I
Yeah.
got to get out of here. Do we want to do that or do the mindset today, or what we're gonna do here?
Yeah. So maybe we can answer some questions and then, yeah, like maybe
All right,
just
we'll take three
one,
questions. We'll take
yeah,
three
3
questions, and then
questions.
we'll get out of here.
All right. Type
All
in the
right, what
chat
we
if you
got?
have a question. So here's a question. Do I need a business
Someone
Facebook
asked, do
account
I say?
for this? Danielle asked, do I need a business Facebook account for this? No, you don't. In fact, you know, investors invest with people. So actually having your personal Facebook account, that's good to use. Okay. It won't hurt if you have a business account, but really investors will check you out, right, Mike? So they want to know that you're a real
Yeah,
person.
yeah, they want to meet the person when you kind of first starting off and you're raising this amount. But once you get going and you establish yourself, then yeah, you probably want to get a Facebook a group and an account, business account, and go from there.
Mhm.
Brittany asks, how do I go about getting hard money lender with a credit score of 620? Also, what is a good percentage that hard money lenders offer? Um, yeah, Brittany, I mean, you can still find hard money with a 620. Now, what I think your question, first of all, having a credit score of 620 is fine. What I think is when you're talking about that, you're looking at the traditional private lender. But understand, you can when you go out and you learn these techniques, you can create private investors that will give their money to you to lend, and it doesn't even matter about your credit score.
Yeah, yeah,
You got
yeah.
to realize I had bad credit, like it was lower than golf scores, and matter of fact, old man Gary was one of the first guys. He lent me $200,000 at 11% in 2 points and didn't really give me a time frame on it. And guess what? I I didn't even even though I didn't even know what I was doing at the time. We talked about ourselves, and then I was able to provide the proper documentation so we could do it right. And he became my private lender, private investor, OPM for years. Julie, should you operate under an LLC? Again, I can't give legal advice, but I always would do LLCs because it helps shift liabilities. Not all, I mean, but a great deal of it. For example, if you were getting in a car accident and you're at fault and something happens to that other person, they try to sue you. Um, if you had all those properties or deals in your private name, your personal name, when they sue you, all that's on the table for assets to be seized or sued. But if you had it under another LLC, well, then, for example, Mike Ely doesn't own anything, but multiple of my LLCs do. So if you sue Mike Ely, guess what? You ain't gonna get nothing. You're like, but Mike does this and that. And he's like, yeah, he's just a managing member or a trustee of it. I don't own it, so therefore they can sue me, but they're not going to get anything. Okey asks, is the waiting list for the mastermind still open?
Yeah,
Wendell, will you
I
text
already,
him
yeah,
Steve's
yeah.
number
I already,
so he can go there?
answered that. So yep, I
You want
already
to answer that?
answered that.
Brittany,
I got
thank
one
you.
here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, on the Q&A, there's an interesting question. Is posting on LinkedIn or multiple platforms the most effective? I'll answer that question, Mike. You have set content
You
and
answer that.
information to post and educate investors. Yes, we do. Actually, during the OPM intensive, we will share with you the #1 tool that we use, because sometimes I run out of ideas on what to post. Okay. So we actually came up with this tool that, that seeks out good trending and viral posts across social media on real estate and businesses, and so by doing it this way, we can count like it literally almost generates the ideas for you on what to post. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so LinkedIn and Facebook, I mean, these are all effective. I've shown you 3 examples: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, but our students have used it for Twitter, where else? Yeah. So
Yep.
it
Hey,
works.
well, look, guys,
But you need to
it's
know.
I
one
got, I got
Yeah,
o'clock.
one question. One question,
We got
Justin.
one more, and
Facebook
then
said,
that's it. You're welcome. Go
does
ahead.
is your course tied to the BRRR course that Nate does?
no, it's different.
Somewhat. We're separate. I mean, that's my partner. He does something. It just depends on what stage you want to be. I tell you what. Why don't you just uh, text him that number again? They can just set up a call to figure out. We can talk about all those different things with Steve or one of our other guys, and they can explain it all to you and
Mhm.
find what's a great fit for you. We're here to make sure you're successful. That's it. Nothing more. Sharing our knowledge so that you can to go out there and get it. Thank you so much. Let's go move into our millionaire mindset, and we're out of here, brother.
Okay. Go for it.
Everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. But now we're ready to go. Walt, let's go.
Now it's time for Mike's millionaire mindset.
Hey guys, as we always say, we always talk about being successful. As I shared before, titles don't mean everything. Titles are just a beginning of where you're going. It doesn't define who you are or where you're going. Again, I was an engineer by trade, but I ended up doing real estate. Uh, but the most important thing, man, is is I was listening before. What's my man? Dan Gilbert in his office. One of these got these mantras, and he says, "Execution is worship. Execution is worship." And what's so important about that is everybody comes up with all these great ideas, and these are ideas that could generate millions of dollars, but yet they die and go to their grave. Their life expires, and they never leverage on these ideas. And the reason why execution is worship, because if you cannot execute your idea or put a team together to execute it, it will never happen, and you will never be the same, and you will remain in the same position you are. That's why you gotta put that work in. That's why I always talk about I'm looking for Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs. Because Navy SEALs, when you put them on a mission, they're gonna execute. And they're gonna fight through all the challenges, through all the cold, through all the pain, through all the hurt. Why go through all this pain and quit? You will never win if you quit. So worship execution, fight through it. The time is now. You are the one. You are the one that will change the dynamics in your family. You are the one that will build wealth and raise millions of dollars. But you have to put it in your mind. You have to say it now. Say it right now. I am the one. Go ahead, tell me. Text it in there. I am the one. Say it to yourself and text, I am the one. Because you must execute. Your life, your friends, your family, your livelihood depends on it. Listen, I don't want to get so personal, but at some time in life, your time will expire. Quit waiting on tomorrow. Go right now. Go today. Listen, I'd love for you to go to OPM Intensive. I would love to see you right there. But look, sign up with somebody, man. I need you to get in there. and sign up for the mastermind. But listen, we're creating a community. We're creating a family. We want you to take them vacations. We want you to spend time with your family. We want you, I don't want you staying up all night worrying about where your next dollar is, your cash flow is. I need you to go out now because execution is worship. Hey, that's my time for the day. I'm Mike Ely. God bless you. God keep you. May God bless you beyond your belief, but not your capacity. And remember, you're one deal away. Hey, Win, who we giving the shirt to? And I'm going to say goodbye right now to all of you. Please type in there and go to opmintensive.com or talk to Steve, talk to any one of us. We'd love to have you, not just our community, but a part of our family, our partnership, because we want you to grow. opmintensive.com. Happy holidays, everybody. Safe travels, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. When I'm out of here, Walt, you guys have a great holiday, and give that shirt or book away to somebody. I'm
All right,
out.
thanks.
Peace out.
Thanks, Mike. Take care. Safe
Bye.
travel. And we will give one of you a book from Broke to Millions. We'll give one to Brittany. Brittany, if you're still here, you get the book. And Walt, can you type in the chat your, for Brittany, your email address? So you can receive. Oh, she's gone. Oh, sorry, Brittany, because you're gone, you don't get it. All right, let's give the book to Jezebel True Love. Don't know if that's your real name, probably not. But Jezebel True Love, you get a book. And with that, Walt will type it in the chat, his email, so you can email him your mailing address. All right, congratulations, Jezebel True Love. And guys, see you soon. See you next week. Bye, everyone.